Hi everyone, Sean Waldman with Secure Cyber, and this is your weekly cyber update. Well, coming to you from the car, obviously, we're not in the studio. I just left the Ohio City County Management Association, their 2025 conference here in Columbus, Ohio, and we are on our way back. So I can give you just kind of a brief overview of how that went. I did a session on local government and AI, kind of, what local government is wanting to do with AI, maybe a little bit of FOMO, like fear of missing out. So we did a briefing on the threats, what they needed to know about AI and how it could harm them, how it can help them, because I'm definitely not anti-AI, but I am definitely let's do AI safely. So I want to thank the organizers and everyone that attended my session. The room was packed. It was there was great dialogue, had great questions. And if you're a member of OCMA, I'm going to be doing regular threat briefings where I can update city and county, township administrators on basically the threats in cybersecurity and kind of what's happening. So that session went really well. All right, first article we're going to dive into. A security researcher, according to Bleeping Computer, has discovered 49,000 access management systems, or AMS, misconfigured and exposed. Now, that's a big deal because in many cases, the security researcher was actually able to, access PII. So often there was date of birth, the security number. A lot of times, organizations will use their access control systems to actually load things like data bursts and stuff like that, because they use that for, maybe a front desk person to access that to maybe validate that person if they have to hand them their card. But in some cases also, they were able to make alterations to the configuration file. So we've talked about it before on this channel, and I'm sure you've heard it 1,000 times. If you have things that are exposed to the internet directly, you've got to keep the firmware updated. You've got to follow the vendor's guidance to make sure that these systems are secure. That could include a lot of vendors have hardening guides that walk you through the process of making sure that you've got the software configured in the right way. Maybe you lock down the IP addresses that can access this software. But I'll tell you, my recommendation is all of this stuff should be behind a VPN, and you should have multi-factor authentication. So take a look at the article down in the notes. All right, the last article we'll talk about today is I was reading an article about an application called Spyware. And this particular app is part of something called Spyware. I've never even heard of Spyware. Kyle, have you ever heard of it?
I have not.
No, okay. So shout out to Kyle. My sales director is filming this while we're driving. I'm driving, he's filming, just for clarity. So apparently this Spyware app has been detected basically leaking a ton of personally identifiable information. What Spyware will do is apparently you can load this application on someone's phone covertly, and like maybe a spouse or a child, and if you want to essentially spy on them, this software will give up things like call logs and messages and I would assume GPS location at that time that they use them. Spyware is an app that is leaking email addresses and all kinds of PII. Now, let's talk about this for a minute, though, because a lot of this comes from, of course, somebody covertly putting an app on your phone is one thing, but the regular practice of reloading your phone, like taking it down and erasing it and reinstalling the apps on I wouldn't say a fairly regular basis, but that might be a good practice to adopt. One, it keeps your phone clean by getting rid of, any potential applications that could have gone rogue on your phone or your device. And that also gives you an opportunity, because I've seen in some cases where the updates don't act correctly, And it's also a good way of making sure that you've got the latest version of an app that's on your phone. So if you are familiar with Spicy, or you have other what's called grayware that might be, writing that line of, is it spyware or is it not? Is it doing something legitimate or is it not? Just take a look at your phones. Read those permissions when you install new apps and look at all the things that it wants access to. So if you're trying to install a very simple app on your phone and it wants access to everything on your phone, that's a red flag, and you probably shouldn't do that. All right, and that's all we have for today. Probably enough from the car because we've got a really strong headwind, and it's windy and it's loud in the car. So I want to thank everyone for watching. Please like and subscribe, share these videos. I really hope you like the HIPAA video with Keith Marceau. I think that was a really good interview of him talking about all the updates to HIPAA. I want to thank our sponsor, Secure Cyber. They are a managed cybersecurity provider in the Dayton, Ohio area. So if you're looking for a U.S.-based cybersecurity firm, please reach out to them at sales@secdef.com. Otherwise, have a great weekend. I'll see you next week. And hey, let's be careful out there.